Doctor, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you.
Doctor, look, undoubtedly the negativity on the markets can't be swiped out overnight, but surely there is some sort of relief economically with the latest developments. What was your reaction?
Undoubtedly, my reaction was one of relief, like many other analysts, investors, and it should also come as a relief for many consumers. Because people were scared that for many years the National Treasury, the Ministry of Finance, had been a bastion of stability in South Africa's economy. And under tremendous pressures from all sorts of areas of society to overspend, they were the only thing that was helping to prevent the South African economy from going into a complete slide. And people took fright when the President removed Nhlanhla Nene and replaced him with an unknown figure in the form of David or Des van Rooyen. And what made things worse was when Des van Rooyen, in his first speech, spoke about opening up the Treasury to the man in the street, making it more accessible, looking after. He said nothing about fiscal discipline and controlling expenditure. And thank goodness now, with Pravin Gordhan, given his pedigree, given his experience, some confidence has been restored.
Look, Doctor, speaking of fiscal expenditure, the investors will be keenly, awaiting the comments from Pravin Gordhan, what he says about managing the country's fiscal health now. But what do you think they're waiting for in terms of the minister, in terms of his plans to move the country forward?
He is going to have to reassure them that the Treasury is not for turning, that it is going to stick to its budgets and its intention to reduce the public debt, that wastage and corruption has to be removed. I mean, as an example, according to the Auditor General's report last week, 26 billion rand disappears in terms of irregular expenditure every year, or last year. Well, that would make a huge difference because it would lighten the need to have to raise taxes. And secondly, the markets are going to wait for Pravin Gordhan to say something about the two issues that have created so much controversy around why President Zuma got rid of Nene, and that was his stance against the SAA Airbus deal, and also his
allegedly.
Allegedly, and also allegedly his stance against the affordability of a nuclear power station deal that was being mooted. So Pravin Gordhan will have to tread quite carefully in answering those.
Here's another worrying issue, Doctor. Now, it was trending in all newspapers' headlines this morning. The JSE lost 169 billion rand as a result of this debacle, and pensioners and retirees have been hit hard. It really brought in a harsh reality to ordinary South Africans. Do you think we can recover the JSE losses at this time in particular?
I'm not so worried about the JSE losses. They really can recover if enough liquidity is added into the system by the Europeans and the Americans. What I'm more worried about is the value of the rand. Where it ends up will determine what's going to happen to inflation and to interest rates next year. And even at today's better level, we're still looking at inflation ending up more like 7% next year instead of the 6% that we were hoping for, which in turn might mean that interest rates will have to rise by maybe 2% next year, whereas we were hoping for very little increase in interest rates previously. So the man in the street is going to be hit in his pocket already, unless the rand recovers for some reason quite dramatically in the next few days and weeks.
Look, Doctor, let's expand on that. We're just 2 days away from the potential US interest rate hike. How do you see this unfolding in terms of the impact for South Africans? You've just mentioned they'll be hit rather hard.
People are very concerned about the impact of rising US interest rates. In the past, this has been an important factor in driving down the currencies of all emerging markets, including the rand. But some people are saying now that it's all been discounted, and that once the decision is made and announced, possibly one could see the dollar weakening for a short period of time. We don't know at this stage what the market reaction will be.
All right. Doctor, before I let you go, look, we had some commentators and economists actually taking their growth focus down to 0.5% for 2016 after the moves last week. Do you think that growth is still precarious?
I think growth is now more precarious than it was prior to last week. I think President Zuma has done the country enormous damage with his shenanigans, and there's now a fairly real probability that we will go into a recession next year, unfortunately.
Very quickly, what do you think about investor confidence? What needs to be boosted there?
The biggest booster to investment confidence would be if the president were to resign and be replaced by someone else. There are many people capable within the ruling party who could do a better job.
Doctor, thank you so much for your time here on the Midday Report. That's Dr. Azar Jammine, Chief Economist at Econometrix, and he was talking us through the latest developments in the economy. We're going to take a quick